I think one of the hardest things you can do is to go from 0 to 1. If you can get to 1, you can get to 10 because you have some momentum, you have some leverage, and leverage is a multiplier. But when you have no leverage in terms of capital, connections, credibility, an audience, it's tough sledding. That's where the real work is. It's hard to get 1 subscriber when you only have 5. When you have 1 million, you don't have to do anything. People just see the social proof, you're leveraged, and they give them to you. The same thing it goes with selling products. You know, if I was famous, I could just sell a crappy t-shirt on my website and make a lot of money. When no one knows who you are or no one knows your brand, you have to bust your tail for every single sale. Leverage is the multiplier, and it is the hardest thing to get in the world. I have not been very good at it. And trying to have agency in the world is tough when you have nothing, no leverage, nobody knows who you are, and you go, I'm going to step out to the world and I'm going to try to build something or create something. You're pretty much just talking to yourself. You're pretty much working and no one's noticing. And it creates a huge mental barrier for you because you think like, well, what I'm doing really doesn't matter. Or are things ever going to turn around? Are things going to change? Will I ever break through? Will I ever get 1? Will I ever get just a little bit of momentum that can push me to where I want to go? And I think that's where most people quit, is when you're not getting what you want, but you're putting in your inputs and you're not getting the outputs that you want. The dice just aren't rolling in your favor. You're not making the correct variable changes to the equation of your input so you can get the output that you want. It's just tough. It really is. But when you're in that journey of just when you're at 0 and you're trying to get to 1, that's 90% of it. And I realize that. And the sad reality is most people will quit before they get to 1, or they may never even get there. There is no guarantees in life. But I think if you have a little bit of awareness and you know the odds, it's still worth trying. Especially for a chance to make a real impact in the world, to make the world a better place, to offer people something. That's better than just being a cog. It really is. When I was working, I'll never forget, I'd wake up, I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd eat, I'd go to the gym, I would eat, then I would drink some beers and go to bed. And one day I realized, like, what am I doing? I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. Why am I living such a mundane life? I'm doing this over and over again, and I'm getting nothing out of it. Nothing. I had nothing to show for it. I have a history degree from University of South Carolina. I mean, what does that mean? Nothing. I mean, I had a decent job, but I was never going to get ahead. Without another income, I was never going to own a house. And I just kind of realized, like, if this is what it's going to be, then I need to step out and have some agency. I need to try to do something really hard. And when I did, and I started trying, I realized why so many people quit. It's the beginning of the journey. That 0 to 1, when no one's paying you attention, when people just are ignoring you, when people around you aren't supporting you, when you feel like the whole world is not working in your favor, it's strong enough to break a man. Break a man right in half. When you put your heart and soul into something and no one pays attention, no one even cares, it's enough to break a man. Didn't break me. I kept going because I've just developed the awareness to know that things eventually will break through if you don't give up and you continue to get better. You continue to stack skills. Things happen. And things happen instantly sometimes. One day you wake up and everything's different. But what you were actually doing that whole time is not that everything changed overnight. You were stacking skills, you were building leverage, you were failing and adjusting the process so that you can get the outputs that you want. It didn't just happen. It was that process of going from 0 to 1. Right now, that's kind of what I'm doing with YouTube. I'm like, close to 30 videos in. Most of my shorts do okay. Not getting very many subscribers. No one cares about my long form content. And my long form content does need to get better. It's just me in a room talking. Who cares what I have to say? Because I haven't given people a reason to care. Who wants to read my book? Nobody knows me or trusts me enough to buy my book, because to buy a book, you have to have some trust in the author. So what can I do? I can continue to build leverage, make videos, fail publicly, share my journey, and hope that people come to trust me and they want to, invest into me and buy my book. They care, at least to some extent, what I have to say, but that's just not going to happen overnight. And this is the tough part of YouTube that a lot of people don't think about. And I think I saw this stat. Don't hold me to this because I don't know if it's 100% true, but I feel like it is. And they said something like 90% of people on social media only consume. 10% of people put stuff out. And only 1% of people, maybe this is exclusive to YouTube, only make videos for more than 30 days. So that means if you are making videos longer than the first month on YouTube, maybe TikTok, I don't know what it's exclusive to. I watched some YouTube videos, some guy talked about it. If you're making videos more than 30 days, you're a 1%er because you've outlasted all those people. Does that mean your channel's going to grow? No, but you are at least holding on and you're pushing forward and you're working towards building that leverage. I've told myself I'm going to do this every day for a year. I'll do a short and do a couple of long form videos a week, and I'm going to do it for a year and let's see what happens, because I have no other way to market myself. And I love to write and I want to sell books. And I know my books are pretty good. I just need people to know about them. So this is my path. But I know also that 0 to 1 journey is the hardest part of it, because no one cares and you have to build publicly. You can't be afraid of judgment. You can't worry that no one's watching you. You can't worry that you don't have the influence or the audience to get the outputs that you want. You got to just keep failing publicly and keep moving forward. And I've really tried to focus on that. I really just looked at each day. Am I taking a step towards gaining that leverage, giving myself that opportunity for one day where these inputs will create the outputs that I'm looking for? And one day people will read my book. One day people may click on my YouTube video and care what I have to say here. I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to keep going with this because it's the 0 to 1 process. And I know if I can get to 1, I can get to 10. And it brings me back to this quote about leverage and getting to 1. It comes from Archimedes. He says, "Give me a lever long enough and I'll move the world." You have to earn your leverage and you have to build it. And the only way to do it is you've got to take that ride from 0 to 1. And like I said, once you get to 1, you can get to 10. But the journey is in going from 0 to 1. And I hope this helps somebody, because these are things that I think about a lot to keep me positive when things don't seem to be going my way. Thank you.